When duct detectors and horn strobes are installed in a commercial building where a fire alarm system is not required, a fire alarm panel or control pad is not required. The absence of a mandated fire alarm system means that the installation of duct detectors and horn strobes does not automatically necessitate the inclusion of a dedicated fire alarm panel. However, several factors and code considerations influence this determination. Firstly, the specific building codes and standards adopted by the local jurisdiction are paramount. These codes outline the requirements for fire detection and alarm systems based on factors such as occupancy type, building size, and intended use. It is crucial to consult the adopted codes to ascertain the specific requirements for the installation in question. Secondly, the purpose and function of the installed duct detectors and horn strobes must be carefully examined. Duct detectors are typically installed within the HVAC system to detect smoke or fire within the ductwork. When smoke is detected, the duct detector can trigger an alarm signal and potentially shut down the HVAC system to prevent the spread of smoke throughout the building. Horn strobes are visual and audible notification appliances designed to alert occupants in the event of a fire or other emergency. If the intent of installing the duct detectors and horn strobes is solely to provide localized smoke detection and occupant notification without integrating into a comprehensive fire alarm system, then a fire alarm panel may not be necessary. In this scenario, the duct detectors could be configured to directly activate the horn strobes upon detecting smog, bypassing the need for a central control panel. Thirdly, the presence of other fire protection systems within the building should be considered. If the building is equipped with other fire suppression systems, such as the sprinkler system or a clean agent fire suppression system, the interaction between these systems and the duct detectors and horn strobes must be evaluated. In some cases, the fire suppression system may already incorporate a control panel that can also monitor and control the duct detectors and horn strobes. Alternatively, the duct detectors and horn strobes may be designed to operate independently of the fire suppression system, in which case a separate fire alarm panel may not be required. Fourthly, the requirements of the authority having jurisdiction should be taken into account. The authority having jurisdiction is the local fire marshal or building official responsible for enforcing the building codes and standards. The authority having jurisdiction has the final say in determining whether a fire alarm panel is required for the specific installation. It is advisable to consult with the authority having jurisdiction early in the design process to obtain their approval and ensure compliance with all applicable requirements. Fifthly, the National Fire Protection Association, or NFPA, standards provide guidance on the design, installation, and maintenance of fire alarm systems. While not legally binding unless adopted by the local jurisdiction, NFPA standards are widely recognized as best practices and can be helpful in making informed decisions about fire protection. NFPA 72, the National Fire Alarm and Signaling Code, covers the application of fire alarm systems, including the use of duct detectors and notification appliances. NFPA 72 provides guidance on the types of equipment that should be used, the installation requirements, and the testing and maintenance procedures. Sixthly, the specific wiring and interconnection requirements for the duct detectors and horn strobes must be carefully considered. If the devices are designed to be interconnected and operate as a system, a fire alarm panel may be necessary to provide the necessary power, supervision, and control functions. However, if the devices are designed to operate independently, they may be powered by a local power supply and controlled by a simple relay or switch. Seventhly, the need for system supervision should be evaluated. A fire alarm panel typically provides supervision of the fire alarm system, which means that it monitors the system for faults or failures and provides an alarm signal if a problem is detected. If system supervision is desired, a fire alarm panel may be required. Eighthly, the complexity of the system should be considered. If the system is relatively simple, with only a few duct detectors and horn strobes, a fire alarm panel may not be necessary. However, if the system is more complex, with multiple zones, remote annunciation, or other advanced features, a fire alarm panel may be required to provide the necessary control and monitoring functions. Ninthly, the cost of the system should be taken into account. A fire alarm panel can add significant cost to the system. If cost is a major concern, it may be possible to design a system that does not require a fire alarm panel. Tenthly, the potential for future expansion should be considered. If there is a possibility that the system will need to be expanded in the future, it may be wise to install a fire alarm panel now, even if it is not strictly required. A fire alarm panel will provide the necessary capacity and flexibility to accommodate future expansion. In summary, a decision of whether to install a fire alarm panel when duct detectors and horn strobes are present in a commercial building without a mandated fire alarm system depends on a variety of factors, including local building codes, the purpose and function of the devices, the presence of other fire protection systems, and the requirements of the authority having jurisdiction. It is important to carefully consider all of these factors before making a decision.